Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. It's Thursday, January 26th. We have a ton of data to get through, lots of news on this big earnings and economic data day. So QQQ and SPY is up. This was already on the way up because of Tesla last night. But we got economic data this morning. GDP, very strong, better than expected. Jobless numbers, better than expected. So now people, again, talking about soft landing. So you see here a little bit of optimism this morning, but TLT is down because now expectations of rates higher. Now, just keep in mind, GDP is a lagging indicator. I still think we're going to be getting a recession and possibly a severe one later this year. But for now, perhaps those that is going to be averted. Let's QQQ. It's close enough that I think we're going to challenge a 200 DMA at 292.50 or so. Let's move to the weekly, see what that looks like. On the weekly, perhaps we have room to closer to 300, 299.5 or so. Let's move over to SPY. On SPY, we're breaking above. Above. We're breaking above the 50-week moving average. Hold on, that's big. Let's go to the daily first. On the daily, it's a continuation above the 200 DMA. But on the weekly, wow. Okay, this is very positive technically. Look at this. This has been a very important line. So I'm wondering if this can take us through maybe the first half of the year is going to be good in the market, until recession really hits. That's a nice breakout of the 50 week moving average if it holds. Of course, it's a weekly candle, so we got to make sure it closes above that line tomorrow end of day. Something to look for. Now, we do have Intel after hours today. Now, these days, it's a smaller company, 122 billion market cap, but it could impact sentiment a little bit. On the other hand, we already had a chip company come out. STM had really good earnings, up 6%. They're a supplier to both Apple and Tesla, so that really good earnings there. So I'm not sure that Intel is going to impact this little rally we're having. So I'm starting to think of possibly changing our alert status. We've been an orange alert. That's what I've been recommending for the fund I advise for. Maybe we're going to move to yellow alert. We'll see, which means decreased hedge and a little bit more long. So something to think about. We'll be monitoring that. Now, Bitcoin risk assets are up. ARKK, this was all in reaction to Tesla last night. At least the Bitcoin really went up after hours with Tesla. Now, Tesla, I listened to the entire conference call. I really loved it. This morning, I set a new swing here, swing long. It met our first objective. We got around 120 all the way to 150, 152 at the 50 DMA. Now we have another swing. It's breaking above the 50 DMA on really, I think, good earnings, and even more importantly, the sentiment, really good sentiment, really good qualitative figures coming out of qualitative comments coming out of Tesla and after hours last night. There's actually a bunch of price target increases this morning. That's the first time in a long time I've seen analysts do price target increases on a big tech company. So above the 50 DMA here, so we got to move to the weekly, and you can see the 200-week moving average at 167. That's swing target number one. Swing target number two, I'm going to go to, I think it was 176 I saw. Let's see, it's probably on the daily that I saw that. Well, I think it was the bottom of this candle I chose right there, 176, and the top of that candle, a little resistance there. But, we're going to reevaluate this on the way up. 167 initial target. There's a potential there's going to be much higher targets over here. We have the 20 DMA at 183 and dropping. Then beyond that, the 50-week moving average at 240. So for right now, 167, then 176, and then we have to play it by ear on Tesla. Now, Tesla also causing suppliers to go up, such as STM. They had their earnings, though. But Air, you can see that. Air up 2% in sympathy with Tesla. And, of course, also because the market's up this morning. But lithium stocks have all been up this morning. I don't have them all up here. LAC, LTHM, they've all been up, I believe, in sympathy with Tesla and their production numbers, up to 2 million vehicles possibly in 2023 that they can produce. They guided for 1.8, but said they could do up to 2 million. So AMLI, that's my preferred lithium stock right now. We're looking at that. And that, unfortunately, I don't have a chart on this. If we have time, maybe I'll switch over to the E-Trade app and we can look at that AMLI chart. But this could have another buck or $1.50 in it because of all the various catalysts for this company specifically. general tailwinds for lithium and a uranium spinoff we're expecting. So that's looking really good. CVV, silicon carbide. You see the themes here? Lithium, silicon carbide, air, like everything related to EV doing really good over here. So silicon carbide producer here, just been taking off. Unbelievable, but it's a small market cap, 71 million. Recent insider buys, recent large deals. This is hard to play. I really don't know. We haven't interviewed management yet, but I do have a small position I picked up at 925 a couple days ago, and it's a small position, so I actually might just kind of let this ride until the next catalyst hits. Maybe that insider's buying more shares, or maybe there's a news report coming out. So CVV doing really good. MobileEye had earnings as well this morning. I was not that impressed. Like if you look at the headlines, it says earnings beat. What was it? Here it is. 27 beats 17 cents. That looks huge. 565 beats 535. I don't know, but if you look at their guidance and you price this out, it doesn't seem so cheap. I mean, there's a lot of cheaper. I think like Tesla is far cheaper than Mobileye at this point in terms of even the traditional fundamental measures. So wasn't so impressed, but it did hit a new threshold. It doesn't count unless it does it in the regular hours. But with those headlines and with the beat, this is something that you can probably buy the dips on if you want to trade it or something like that. I do hold this long term as well. So I got my nice long term position, but maybe a trade in here. I do have a bid in there in the low 35s. Chevron reported as well, and it was a huge, great earnings report. Buyback program for like 30% of their market cap, something huge, like 50 billion. 50 billion, is that 30%? A big percentage. I see market cap at 350 billion. So massive buyback program. It's been straight up all morning. I mentioned it last night, mentioned again this morning when it was 184. I said, hey, this is heading to its all-time highs. So what are those all-time highs? Let's take a look at it. 189.68. We're at 186 now. I think it's a shoe-in. This goes up another $3, and it might even do it today. Okay, if it's not today, within a couple weeks. So that's easy target, and I think this is like a cup it's forming. I bet you it's going to break that cup and head into the mid 190s or so. Maybe I'll ask Vegas about that. She's very much into those big cap stocks, and I think she's traded Chevron before. Earnings also out on American Airlines. Now they pre-announced the revenue, but we didn't have the EPS out. Now they're guiding for EPS of 250 to 350 for 2023. Even if you take the low point of that, but take the midpoint of it, 3. And then what's the PE on this? Like 5.5 PE of 2023 earnings. And a lot of good commentary about how they perform best of all the airlines, different metrics they're throwing out. I know Tony's listening to the conference call, and he said it's an excellent conference call, throwing out some nuggets into our VIP chat room right now on America Airlines. So it's not performing as well in pre-market as some of these other earnings plays, like Chevron and obviously Tesla and even Mobileye. Not performing as well as ADM, which we're about to get to. There's an agriculture stock. So AL not performing as well, but the numbers look really cheap. It's got to be pricier because people are still worried about recession and thinking that travel is going to take a hit, and these earnings are not sustainable. But on the other hand, for today, you have a 14% short position, and I wonder to what extent the shorts are trying to keep this down as much as possible in pre-market so they can cover when the market opens at relatively lower prices. Maybe that's a possibility what's going on. We had this as a swing trade. We put it on our sheet, and we have not removed it yet. So that swing, I'm not in it. No, I did actually add this morning in pre-market, but I did get out like last week. I forgot the reason why. Something happened, and I got out. And but the swing target is still here. It's still the 200 DMA. At this point, you got to say the high here, 1764, and then 1930. So those are still the swing targets when I kind of look at it objectively. I look at the technicals, I look at the fundamentals, looking at the news. It looks like a nice swing play. I don't have a lot of conviction behind it, again, because of my personal worries about recession. And when I see a price like this, I'm thinking maybe the market is thinking what I'm thinking. But with those numbers this morning, I'm willing to take a risk in here. I added some AAL in my day trading account. We'll see if we put in something else. But anyway, good earnings and guidance, it looks like, out of American Airlines, in contrast to Southwest Airlines, which did shit the bed, honestly, because of the technical issues that they've had. Let me see what it's doing. Yep, down 3%. So that's showing relative strength in the airline sector, and they can take market share, all kinds of good stuff, possibly for American Airlines. All right, ADM, agriculture company that's on our watch list. We've been playing it at different times with earnings. You can see here, it had a nice beat, blows past Wall Street profit and revenue estimates. $1.93 beats 164. That's a big beat. 26 billion beats 25 billion on revenue. Pretty big beat. So I jumped in here at like 85 and change this morning as soon as I saw that. So I'm up on that. But you do have plenty of resistance here. So they're not necessarily a slam dunk over here, $87. But let's see. With that big beat, if we break that 87, our target would be about 89 at the top of this candle, or maybe the top of this can. No, 89. Yeah. If we break these resistance levels, I would say 89 is a target for you, and then maybe as a swing play to 91. I doubt it reaches there today, but you never know. And also, it may get rejected here. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out. I forgot which agriculture stock. It was another one, another ag stock. I think the ag money is rotating out of these ag names, it seems. See, people are moving back into risk, and they're moving out of the stuff that has been safe for the past year, if you've noticed. So that's one of the things I'm worried about is money rotation. So I didn't take a big position in ADM, just a small position to see how it trades, worried about that money rotation in the safer stocks like the agriculture sector. They've been overperforming for the past year. Okay, BTB, this is a trade. This is like a meme stock. This is about the short covering stuff. Sympathy move on. I went over the reasons the last few days why I like it as a trade. I've been holding it for a couple nights. Today, 10:30 a.m., there's a live stream, YouTube live stream the company's putting on, possibly talk about what measures they're going to take to snuff out the illegal short sellers, maybe a special dividend they'll talk about, maybe merger plans, something like that, to try to bring out these illegal short sellers. This might be the end of my play. We'll see, depending on what they say. The targets here, 319 at the top of this candle, then the 200 DMA at 440. Those are my two targets. It may or may not reach it based on what they say on this YouTube. We'll have to monitor that. Okay, that's at 10:30 again. CTMX, a little bit of news this morning. Jumped in at 267, sold at 283. They hit a milestone, got a milestone payment of $5 million for one of their programs. So nice little catalyst, but $5 million is really insignificant compared to their $173 million market cap. Nonetheless, it could be good for sentiment. It's been consolidating for a while. So can this catalyst be an excuse to take us up and test that $3 resistance? That's the play here. That's what I thought other people in the market would be thinking early in the morning, like, finally a catalyst, because there were no catalysts really expected for CTMX for a while. This was kind of like dead and, consolidating and no real catalyst. So this milestone, even though it's small, a little bit of a surprise, at least for me, and maybe for other traders to say, hey, maybe this is alive again. Maybe it's going to come out of this consolidation, and it hit 3 or so. So that's why I took a shot at this at 267. I'm bidding 267 again. I got in 267, sold at 283. I'm bidding 267 right now on CTMX. Now, CALX. Oh, please. Let's see. Let's see if this works out for us. They reported earnings last night. You can see it's up 7%, but really that's a fake print there. That's less than 100 shares. The last print of 100 shares or more was $60.91. And you can see the ask is 61.68. Nonetheless, it's up. They had earnings last night. The conference call, I think, is ongoing, started at 8:30 a.m. So hopefully this will kill the fears of where is it? Clearfield, right? We already saw a little bit of after hours action last night, now this morning. So hopefully the worries about Clearfield are over. They're reporting next week, Thursday, I believe, after the close. So I'm looking hopefully to move to like $84 or so, even before earnings. We'll see. But after that, based on what Chris is telling us, I'm expecting a big earnings beat and the possibility this goes to 120, 130. Here, too, I'm a little worried about money rotation and price earnings multiples, right? If money is rotating into risk, people will say, I don't want telecom, I don't want agriculture, I want to get back into the growth companies and the tech stocks. And I think that may have something to do with the relative underperformance here in the past month. Relative underperformance, that's an understatement. So a little worried that even if they get like a $1.40 print next Thursday, that the stock will not react like we expect it to. So just something to keep on the radar. And that's why we have to diversify, right? This stuff, you can't predict everything. You can recognize it once it happens. You can explain it once it happens, especially if you do your research, you listen to the news, you get commentary from social media, you look at all data points, and you can't always predict. But if you can't predict it after the fact, you can definitely explain it. That's one of the mantras of story trading, is that markets make sense. Markets are efficient. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason why stocks are overpriced. There's a reason why stocks are underpriced. So we always seek to understand the market and understand what other investors are thinking. That gives us an edge in our trading activities. That's the philosophy here at Story Trading. All right. A couple other small things. That was all the big stuff. LLAP has been really unusual action here the last several days. So I think something is up here. Is LLAP? Yeah, Terran Orbital. That's a Lockheed Martin one. Oh, it's also SMR. I'm sorry. Both of these, both LLAP and SMR, have had unusual action the last few days. The volume has been increasing. I have a 250 swing target on LLAP. Where is the other one? SMR. So SMR as well. High volume. You can see the pre-market action. So something is up. Someone's deciding to get back into these risk asset names, LLAP and SMR over here. So SMR, a little harder to find the swing target. So I was looking like maybe it's time for this again. Boom, 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 right? Let's see what uranium is doing. So let's check out uranium in the past month or so. I've seen some chatter that's doing well. There you go. Having another good morning. So that could be a catalyst to continue the move in SMR. So both LLAP and SMR, I like the price action on these. No like recent big catalyst the last few days or anything. SMR did have a catalyst last Friday, some permit they got, which didn't make it into the press releases, but was in the media. Interesting. XXII, some good price action this morning. Talk, really strong yesterday. Okay, this is now on my radar because that was heavier volume than usual, and it closed at the high of the day right at resistance, right at 79.80 cents, which is the resistance level. This breaks out today and makes a move towards 89 cents, the next resistance level on Talk. And I think there's also a possibility CVS Aetna launch a program that very much sounds like what both Drio and Talk does. I reached out to Erez, and Erez said, no, this is not Drio. Aetna has different programs. So it's not, they still have the Aetna contract, and they still have the Aetna program, and that's still coming. So I don't know which part of the Aetna programs Dario will be involved in. But maybe this part of the Aetna program that was just launched is Talk, and I don't know. So if that's the reason why this has been moving, but there's definitely money coming into this yesterday afternoon. Possible break of 80, 89 cents the first target, and then a swing to 118 or so. But I'd like to see a catalyst to confirm that swing target. Okay, TGB, I just noticed a little bit of strength yesterday morning. Not yesterday morning, yesterday before the close. That's our copper play from Matt. Let me just see if Vegas will be joining us. So Vegas is late right now. So we'll give her a couple minutes. I'm basically at the end of my show. So what we're going to do for about a couple minutes until she comes, or until she doesn't come, is take a look at a little bit of a rest of our watch list and take a look at the news feed. I am monitoring BBBY, betting puts on that, hoping that goes bankrupt. Very risky play, very hard to do because the premiums are really, really hard and hard to time this bankruptcy filing that's most likely coming. DermTech, we keep missing that. Unbelievable. I'm so upset about that. I really like DermTech. Geo. Okay, Geo have this still as a swing with a $12 and then a $15 price target on Geo. It's had some strength the last couple days, and I like the fundamentals and the sentiment tailwind behind this. It's holding strong above key levels. So there's a 200-week moving average. It's holding above. I like that. There's a 50 and 20-day moving average. It's holding above. All right, and with that, I do want to mention yesterday, last couple days, Vegas has really nailed it on our show. She gave us swing trades in NVIDIA. That's not NVIDIA. Here it is. NVIDIA, which is doing really good. Shopify, which really blew it out of the park. And she even had the foresight to think that Microsoft might reverse yesterday. She gave us some levels, and that worked out really good. So everyone, get ready. We are bringing on Vegas onto the show right now for an update. All right, Vegas, good morning. You've absolutely killed it the last couple days on our show with those three stocks, and NVIDIA, SHOP, and Microsoft.
Yeah.
I assume you took those trades and you made good money. So tell us what's going on. What's
Yeah.
going
Oh
on
my God,
today?
we made great money yesterday with all the reversals in the market. That's why, like, I was anticipating, that obviously there would be a reversal with Microsoft. I just thought it was just overrated, and that at the end of the day, I think that the opportunity was there for reversal, and here we are. So looking really great morning. Congrats to anyone that was listening to the show that took any of those trades. You could see Shopify looking extremely healthy, heading towards actually $50 on Shopify. So top watch today. Actually, Boeing's looking really strong too. So definitely, obviously, Tesla had phenomenal earnings, phenomenal guidance. Look at Tesla going towards
Yep.
160. Actually, currently trading right now almost at 159.
Wow.
Room
Yep.
here on
You got a
Tesla, like,
165.
yeah.
I put a 165 price target, then 176 after that. What do you have on Tesla?
Well, I have today like 163.67. So
Okay.
I guess once it breaks that, maybe 165, and then I'll reassess it. But from a day trade level, that's the most I see. Nvidia, as you know, I'm bullish on Nvidia, looking for that 200 and 210. So Nvidia is an active swing trade. Beautiful gap up this morning, over 2%, up $4.27, gapping up overnight. And so that's the music to my ears, because that's what I wanted to see on
Nice.
Nvidia. Was one of my plays of the week. Um, so that's looking great. And IBM, IBM's on here too. So definitely, IBM had the earnings as well. So if IBM can break
Oh, I
today, like
missed it. I
one,
don't follow IBM, so I totally missed
yeah,
that.
so
Okay.
IBM looks good. So if it breaks 138 on IBM, has room to like 139.74. But I will say my favorite pick today, even for like trade or momentum trade or swing trade, like, I'm loving Square. Square looks really good here. It's currently over 81.67. So I am bullish on Square, looking for this to go to like 86.81. And I
Oh, I
really
like
like
that reversal
Boeing.
like that.
Boeing looks fabulous, and it can head towards like 220.
Wow,
So
look at
really,
Square over the 50-week moving average. And by the way, the SPY is over the 50-week moving average too. These are big, big, huge technical
yeah, huge
resistance areas.
levels.
You think we're gonna be starting a bull run here? I mean, these are key levels that are
Yeah,
breaking
these are
in the
key
market.
levels. Like, you know what? SPY can see today like 405, maybe 405.34 today. So, like, we're another couple dollars today is what it could see. But, my target on SPY is like 410 and 411.50. So, that could
Mhm.
be the finishing number by tomorrow. So, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised, between now and tomorrow, we could see that.
I'm
So
with
really
you.
looking,
You were
and the
bullish on the
QQQs
show.
look great too. Like, look at the QQQ, looks really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, you were bullish Monday night on the
Mm.
Wolf Financial Spaces. I've still been cautious. So far, you're right. I'm thinking about moving. I don't know if you know much about our color alert system for the fund I advise for, but we have this alert system of how much you're going to hedge the market. And right now, we're in between orange and red. I'm thinking of moving up to yellow with the economic
Hmm.
data that came in as well this morning, combined with the technical breaks. So things are looking really good. I wonder if I can get your, we have limited time, so I wanted to get your feedback on Chevron and American Airlines. They both had earnings this
Yeah.
morning, or big buyback at Chevron. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, I want to see if we're aligned. I'm thinking Chevron can make a quick move to a new 52-week high or new all-time high, maybe higher. It's at
Well, you know what? Your key
189.68.
level for Chevron today, like, if it breaks, it looks fabulous. But I would like to see this break $186 today. If it does break 186, this can head towards 189.53. So
Yep,
you'll
that's
have
where it's high.
resistance at 187.50. That'll be a big resistance. But let me tell you, if this breaks 187.50 today, like, wow, a nice move is coming today. So
Yeah,
that looks really good. And now that the earnings is gone, I love what you said. And you said they have a share buyback.
huge, $50 billion.
Billion. Oh my God, these people
$50
make too much
billion
money.
dollar,
They're
75
charging.
billion. I'm sorry, 75
Oh my God,
billion
they're charging
buyback.
us too much money at the pump. These people making too much money. American. You know what? American Airlines, by the way, I love trading that one because it always makes a nice action. So American Airlines looks great. We need to see this break $17 though. So unless it breaks 17, I will not be trading this. If it does break 17, room to 17.95.
Okay, awesome. I
Yeah,
love those. I love that AL 17 break to 17.95. I
yeah.
love that, and I
But
love
let
the
me tell you my
longevity
but
on
let me tell
Chevron.
you my top pick for trades
Yeah,
today is Tesla, Shopify, because I could see Shopify even going towards $51 almost, like $50.94 is what I have. I love Boeing. So Boeing, Shop, and Tesla, my top three for the day.
Yep.
And I love my NVIDIA swing, so still bullish on NVIDIA for a swing, looking for my 210. So maybe I'll get 200 today.
I'm with you. It's shaping up to be a really good day. Look at all these charts. Very low RSIs on the weeklies and big breaks at key levels. So things are looking a little bit bullish right now. I got to be honest with you. I'm starting to change my mind.
I will say, I just want to comment really quick. I had one of my members who's traded for many, many years. He did mention that people that have like access to Morgan Stanley or E-Trade, there is a podcast from January 18. They talked about key themes for 2023. A very good listen. And one of the things that they mentioned in the podcast, so highly recommend if anyone's listening to the show, that if you have access to Morgan Stanley or you use E-Trade, listen to this podcast, the one from Jan 18. And one of the things they mentioned for key themes for 2023 is that they expect 5% gains in China GDP, and that India is in the first inning of growth, and a couple of other surprises. So very good listen. So I think people are being for a little surprise.
Love it. I love that you look at the fundamentals too. Awesome trader. I love stocks. You can follow her on Twitter. I love stocks one. Have a great day, Vegas.
And by the way, Bitcoin, keep a watch on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's looking really strong. So whenever you see strength in Bitcoin, looks really good for the markets. Okay.
Absolutely.
So let you know, keep a watch.
I'm with you there. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.